Recently, I've had some people reach out and ask me, how do I get my jelly rolls rolled back up so neatly back into its jelly roll? Now, I do this for a couple of reasons. After I get all of my individual strips connected into one long strip, I prefer to roll them back up. And I joke around and say that they go from jelly rolls to cinnamon rolls. And I used to roll it just like this for a couple of reasons. One, it gives me a nice preview of what my rug is going to look like, and it also makes it just more travel friendly. Now recently I started adding a PVC pipe to the middle of it just because as I'm assembling, that allows me to put this on a paper towel holder, and that just makes it even easier and more accessible. Now, excuse me, either route, whether you're putting it on a PVC pipe or any type of tubing or nothing at all, I was going to show you guys what I do to kind of keep it nice and taut and together. Now what I'm going to want to do is I have all of my individual strips, ta-da! And I'm just going to throw that into any type of bucket or box or anything I can put safely under my sewing table, because I'm going to want that below the table. And you always want to start with whatever the center of your rug is going to be first, because that's what's going to give you that really awesome preview. So whatever you want for your middle, you're going to start with that first. Now, if you don't have any type of tubing or anything you want to wrap it around, I find it's easier to start just in the air, or sometimes I kind of lean it on my chest and get it rolling. And after you kind of get it started, let me turn around. You can get your little momentum going at first with your hands before moving to a table. Now, if you want to put it on a PVC or any type of tubing, that's when I recommend let's start at the table. With your tubing, it's easier to start on the table. I forgot to mention you are going to want to make sure that when you're rolling it up, the outside or the pretty side of your fabric is on the outside of your roll. Now for this one, I just take my PVC pipe and I start to roll it, and I'm going to want to kind of hold this in place right here as I first start rolling. Now this is, let me move it down real quick so y'all can see. This is the end of my table. So I have this going down and falling down, if that makes sense, into the rest of my fabric. So I want to keep this as tight as possible. There we go. And as I'm rolling, what I do is I keep this not crazy tight, but I definitely want a little bit of snugness there as I'm rolling. So I will just do this all the way through. I'm going to keep this flat on the table and roll this towards myself. Now, once I get to my seams, I do not iron my seams or press them. I just make sure my seams are facing the same direction as I roll it through. And I go over my seams that way. I personally don't find it necessary to iron or press seams. This kind of informally does it for me. And I'm going to do this on repeat all the way until I get to the end. Now that I'm done, I have an awesome little preview of my next rug that I can either put aside whenever I'm ready for it or hop to it and get to the next step. But again, I also like this to kind of double check the order. Is it what I was looking for? If I like it or don't, because if I don't, now is the time to change it. Because if you don't at this step, it's not impossible down the road, but it is quite a nightmare and definitely more work than if you did it at this stage. I hope that helps.